The civil authorities have issued a civil danger warning for New York NY, beginning at 9:17 a.m. and ending at 3:17 p.m. The following is an important message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Due to increasing cases of COVID-19, residents of New York's
We interrupt your EAS scenario, boring football or related sports, soap opera, or anything else that brainless viewers think are more important than breaking news. I dare you to switch channels, because every other radio and TV station in your listening radius has interrupted normal programming for this extremely urgent message from the federal government. All complaints regarding this interruption will be ignored and laughed at. Earlier this afternoon, the director of the series The Infection, who is only known under the alias 2.8900, has officially announced the cancellation of the series. This is a devastating blow for those who have waited for a sequel to the last iteration of the series released in 2017. The author has cited trolls, incessant whining, death threats, and lack of interest as reasons for canceling the series. He has no desire to return to the series in the future and hopes to move on from what he calls a burden on his life. Unfortunately for the rest of society, it appears this cancellation will lead to a catastrophe that experts say could end the world. Here is footage of a press conference earlier today regarding the upcoming doomsday.
As a result of the cancellation of The Infection, numerous health experts including the CDC say that fans of the series may exhibit unspeakable phenomena. Of the theoretical phenomena, those who are afflicted by this cancellation may exhibit the following: violent and aggressive behavior, uncontrollable rage, superhuman strength, increased body temperature to spontaneous combustion levels, and deafening screeching. Authorities warn families that may have loved ones connected to this series to prepare for potentially destructive and harmful behavior that can lead to others getting hurt or possibly killed. Afflicted individuals should be isolated from others, such as being kept alone in a sturdy room. More information will be provided as research is conducted.
The CDC has just defined those who exhibit these symptoms to be emotionally triggered. If you suspect you or someone you know may be triggered, please keep a safe distance away and barricade yourself between you and others. As this will be a nationwide or possibly global event, emergency services will likely be strained. Police and medical personnel will likely not be able to assist you. We now will not return to your precious programming, as we stand by for possibly more announcements from civil authorities in the next few hours. So, you can kiss your favorite show or program goodbye. Try not to be triggered as you will be starved of entertainment for the next few hours or maybe days. We will now tune to a live broadcast from the President of the United States. Don't go anywhere, and try to stay not triggered.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States federal government. Author of the Infection Series 2.8900 has announced the cancellation of the series earlier this morning. The CDC and local authorities are advising residents to remain on the lookout for triggered individuals. They may exhibit symptoms such as violent and destructive behavior, increased body temperature to spontaneous combustion levels, and deafening screeching. If you suspect someone is triggered, barricade yourself from the individual. If necessary, use armed intervention if you or someone else's life is in danger. No reports of triggered individuals have been reported in the United States. However, it is highly likely that many will become triggered in the next few hours. Do not attempt to call 911 as emergency services will likely be overwhelmed by triggered individuals. Avoid panicking. Stay tuned to local media for additional information. The following message is transmitted at the request of Emergency Management and the United States National Guard. Widespread reports of triggered people spontaneously combusting have been received across the country. This has led to fires spreading uncontrollably, especially in urban areas. Firefighters are unable to control the amount and ferocity of fires. If you suspect an individual is triggered, evacuate the area immediately. Those who are triggered are capable of incinerating all objects and surfaces within a 20-foot radius. Do not attempt to extinguish flames or calm triggered people down. Stay tuned to local news regarding evacuation orders and additional information. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government and the CDC. Over 100,000 people have been reported to be triggered across the country. The CDC reports that secondary triggered people who are not triggered as a result of the infection cancellation have been received. Regardless, all triggered people are to be considered extremely dangerous. These individuals are capable of spontaneously combusting and causing violent fires. Recent reports have indicated that some individuals have combusted explosively, leveling homes and businesses. Civil authorities recommend those who are not triggered to take the following precautions immediately. Barricade yourself in your home or business. Seek shelter in a basement or interior room away from windows. Place as many objects between you and the outside. Do not attempt to evacuate. Do not approach any triggered individuals. If there is a triggered person in your building, evacuate immediately and seek shelter in another dwelling. All resources are being used to combat these dangerous individuals at this time. Stay tuned to local radio and TV stations for further emergency information. For the following county, Manhattan, New York. High wind warning in effect until 2 a.m. Thursday. What? Variable winds 20 to 30 miles per hour, with gusts to 70 miles per hour. Where? New York City. When? Until 2 a.m. Thursday. Impacts. Strong winds will blow down trees and power lines. Gusty winds may blow around unsecured objects. Travel will be difficult, especially in high-profile vehicles. Additional details. These winds are being generated by triggered people as a result of venting. Impacts will vary wildly depending on where triggered individuals are located. Do not approach triggered people for any reason. People should avoid being outside in forested areas and around trees and branches. If possible, remain in the lower levels of your home during the windstorm and avoid windows. Use caution if you must drive.
This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast stations and cable systems should transmit this emergency action notification message. Please stand by for a message from the United States government. As of 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, The condition, now known as trigger syndrome, has reached pandemic levels. As many as 500,000 people have been triggered in the U.S. alone. It appears this condition has spread to other continents and countries. Reports of the syndrome growing out of control in England, Germany, Russia, China, and many others have been received. As of last report, major U.S. cities like Los Angeles have been wiped out in what are being called triggered. It is highly likely that other major cities will likely experience. This concludes operations under the emergency alert system. If you, yes you, have not caught on yet, this was a hoax. However, if you were somehow offended or triggered because this did not satiate your original expectations, local authorities will be preparing therapy and rehabilitation centers for those who need assistance. Regular programming will resume in a few hours.